Welcome back to the 24th floor. It's been a busy couple of weeks for Memphis Athletics. Charles Huff met with the media as football camp approaches, while Penny Hardaway introduced a new-look basketball team. Now, I listened to hours of press conferences, and one message kept coming up over and over again. Here's Penny Hardaway.
Yeah, they've been intentional on being together and being close. They keep saying the same things about we don't have a year to waste. We don't need selfishness. We want to do sacrifice. You know, it's no I, it's we, it's us. So there's no me. And I love that about them. You know, they're all into each other a lot. They're going out to eat. They're going to the sporting events. They're doing everything together, and I love that.
All right, and joining me now to break down all of this is my co-host, Ruben Diaz. Ruben, good to have you back with us.
Yeah, I've been on the road running around, and now I'm back in the building.
Seems like you got your voice back.
I'm getting it back, be yelling at them kids for, 20 games. It gets to you after a while.
How often you think Coach Penny Hardaway yells at his guys? It doesn't seem like
every single day in practice.
Well, he seems so even-keeled.
Every single day in practice.
Now, my biggest takeaway from what Mr. Hardaway said is he didn't talk about really any offense or defense in this press conference. He kept talking about chemistry. What do you take out of that?
That's because that's what's lost right now in college athletics. With the amount of moves made in transfer portals, with new bodies coming in, back and forth. Culture and chemistry are two things that every college coach is trying to find a way to create and build. So that's why that's the theme right now. That's the outward theme. That's the inward theme. I do like to hear that his team is doing so much stuff together because that is a big deal. I would tell people all the time, if you get to where you like each other off the court, then when things get tough on the court, you don't tend to go at each other. You tend to bond closer to each other. So when you're friends off the court and then the point guard misses you when you're wide open for a three in one possession, you don't get in your feelings about it because you're tight. You're cool. You can say, hey, bro, I was open that time. Whereas if you're not tight and he misses you, you start thinking, bro don't want to see me shine. He ain't going to give me the ball.
I think it's like that in everything. It's even like that in our industry.
It's just how if you create that chemistry, it alleviates a lot of the drama, which that also tells me that they probably experienced a lot of drama on the court and behind closed doors between that group last year that they're trying to negate by bringing in the right kind of kids.
Do you think that that's a stigma? Because I feel like we've said that in several seasons with Hardaway where the chemistry isn't there. So my thing is, when you have a limited time to kind of put this team together, can that chemistry really be made so quickly to gel before you actually start playing games?
Yeah, because you're not talking about on-court chemistry. Hooping is hooping is hooping, right? And you're going to call a handful of sets, but for the most part, you're running ISOs, pick and rolls, read and react type offense. So what you're really trying to build is off-court chemistry that then translates to on-court communication and on-court chemistry as well. So yes, because while they have limited time that coaches can be with players during this time frame, there's unlimited time that players can be with players. Yeah. The players can get together and go to the gym on their own all day long. They can go to the movies, they can go eat dinner, they can go hang out, they can do their thing together all day long. The coaches can't be with them all the time. So I think you can definitely build chemistry as long as it's something that is being actively pursued within the program, and it sounds like it's being actively pursued.
So we heard from Penny talk about the chemistry. Let's hear from one of the players, one of the new players, by the way. Take a listen.
We like each other, and that's the biggest thing as a team that you got to have if you want to win a championship. Everybody has to like each other. Everybody has to be on one accord. So just in practice, on and off the court, again, we just like each other. We're going to play for each other. We're going to fight for each other. That's what I see from us right now.
See, Ruben, it seems like it's going back to what you said, because he essentially echoed what Penny said about these guys liking each other. And then it's interesting coming from him, because he's a Memphis guy, but he left and came back. And for him to, and of course we don't have to talk about his notoriety, but we also know that for him, in coming back, he's helping establish something, but also getting the guys on who aren't familiar with Memphis. Because in that press conference, he talked about how some of the out-of-state guys are already catching on to the lingo.
Yeah, so the truth is you can't build chemistry if you don't have players, particularly leaders, who want there to be chemistry.
Yeah.
If your leader doesn't encourage and, even for my teams, right, we'd say whoever the leader is on any given team, I'm wanting to make sure that person is reaching out to all the players, not just their best friends. Hey, me and my best friend are going to go do this, but I didn't reach out to the whole team and make sure everybody wanted to go. So you have
always cliques.
You have to eliminate a lot of those cliques. Now, there's no law that says everybody has to be best friends all the time, but you have to include everybody. So really what you're seeing is sounds like to me, a mandate from the top. Penny and company have said to their leaders, the people that they feel like are going to be the leaders on the team, hey, we want you guys to be spending time together. And we want to see who's going to be smart enough, grown enough, and mature enough to make that happen. And then now you've got kids like Josh who are saying, hey, we're spending that time together because it's the right thing to do. So I think you'll see a total shift in the way this team plays next season because these guys will play harder for each other than last year's team.
Do you think this is the most Memphis team Penny's had in a while? Because you got Josh, Memphis native. You got Cello Jackson, Memphis native. You got Fred Smith Jr., Memphis native. I feel like it's one more person I can't think of. I'm blanking. But do you think this is the most Memphis team Penny's had in a while?
I mean, it probably is, but the truth is, in college basketball and college sports right now, you don't really get hometown teams anymore. It's not really like that.
Because of that bag.
Yeah,
that bag be a little different.
So for him to create a team that's got 2 or 3 kids from the area is far and above what most teams are going to go. Go look up the roster for your favorite team right now, and you're not going to see very many kids from that town on that team. It just doesn't work very often. Memphis just happens to be a big-time basketball city, and so because there's a lot of talent that comes out of Memphis, it's a little easier. It's a little it is a little less difficult probably to find players that fit what you need who also have the skill set and talent that happen to be from your area.
Now, one thing you talked about was leadership, and one player Penny appears to be counting on to set the standard is a transfer senior point guard Jaden Reed, whose 5 assists were some of the top in the Big Ten Conference. Reed says coaches have already challenged him to become a more demanding leader. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Make demanding more. I feel like I'm being too nice right now. That's what a lot of coaches are telling me, just demanding excellence out of everybody because that's the only way, we're playing a lot of good teams. So the shortcutting drills and shortcutting scrimmages, not being in the gaps, not boxing out, not being in the right spots, you're going to lose a lot of games to a lot of good teams.
Ruben, you're a coach. What do you take out of that?
Yeah, that's right. So we always say that it's not necessarily what you say, but how you say it as well. And I always tell people, coach people how you want to be coached, right? Like, so if I'm gonna get on you about not boxing out, then it's got to be the way that I want to be, because this generation of player doesn't respond to Bobby Knight, right? It's not the same way. So, but him being too nice would be, we say that sometimes, where it's like, hey, in the heat of the moment. My son's a quarterback. I tell him all the time, in that moment, you got to say, bro, you got to be here. It's the way it is, right? Hey, and then after it's over, you can buddy it up. But in that moment, you got to get business. It's business. And so I think that the message is correct. If you're going to lead, you have to have a leader's voice, and you have to be willing to say, hey, I'll sweep the floor just like anybody else if that's what it takes for us to win.
Do you think it's saying something that in the first press conference that we've heard from this new look Memphis basketball that he chose those 2 guys? Because it seems like if you look on social media, all the hype has been over your guy, Almodovar, who had the dunk. He's been getting more of the noise. Obviously, Fred Smith is getting it and Cello Jackson. But the first group, he chose those 2. So is it safe to say you think those will be the 2 guys who are probably the leaders of the team?
I think they're probably the 2 guys that are leading the preseason right now, that they're probably doing things the right way in preseason. And so coach is saying, hey, because to me that's like it's like a carrot, right? Hey, you're doing your job, you're handling business, you go to media days. But by midway through the season, if those guys aren't carrying the bucket, they're not carrying the weight right, then we're going to be hearing from other people consistently. Yeah.
Is that always weird for a team to do that, where you come in and you think it's going to be one guy who's the leader and then it changes? Because at least with my high school team, it stayed the same people the whole way out, regardless of how they were performing, just because of respect. But from you as a coach, how do you do that, where you be like, okay, going in, I want you to lead, but you're not performing like that, so we're going to go with him?
Sometimes leadership isn't like points, right? It's like you could be my leader and you don't have to be the leading scorer on my team. Leadership is about how everybody responds to the way you play. Like if you're the person out there diving on the floor for every loose ball, clapping it up in every timeout, being the best cheerleader when you're on the bench instead of, sulking and being in your feelings because you're not on the team, all those things are leadership qualities that translate to other people following your lead. Being a leader just means that other people tend to follow what you do. And so I would say it's not normally, and there's some learning in here too, because Coach Penny is also teaching these guys how to be leaders. That's why they're telling him, they're telling Reed, hey, you got to have you can't be so nice. You got to be more demanding. They're still trying to teach some of these young guys how to be good leaders. And you can't pull somebody from a leadership spot just because they're not leading as well or as fast as you want them to lead, because you're still teaching them how to lead. So there's coaching and teaching going along through this entire process.
Do you think Penny is paying a little bit more attention to the details? Because I don't know, Ruben. I think like this season really is a make it or break it season for him. I'm not trying to throw him under the bus or none of that. I'm a big Penny Hardaway supporter, but I'm just reading the room and the tea leaves and how much this program wants to be competitive and compete for championships, compete to be in a P4. If Penny doesn't perform this season, I don't think he sees another season. So that's why I think he's really about that chemistry, because when you look at last season, he probably realized, okay, talent-wise, we're good, but it's just, like you said, it's just something there that it's not translating to wins.
So my guess is he's always paid attention to the details.
Yeah.
The difference is, do you have a group that's going to listen and execute? I'll give you an example. I have 3 teams that I coach: an older team, a middle team, and then a younger team.
3 teams is wild.
My middle team can execute every play we call every single day of the week. My older team can't execute those plays to save their lives. They are taught the exact same plays in the exact same way with the exact same energy every single time. But some teams don't respond. They just don't get it. And so that team that can't execute those plays, for example, for Penny last year, it's not that he wasn't, I would be shocked if he suddenly wasn't paying attention to the box out or the passing angle or the closeout or whatever. I doubt that very seriously. I'm sure they had screamed those things till they were blue in the face.
They just weren't responding.
You had a group that just wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
And now he's got a team, of guys that seem like they want to do it.
Yeah.
And so he's re-energized.
Yeah.
Because now I'm not wasting my breath when I coach. These guys want to do it. The team is responding and they're able to execute what he's wanting done. That is the difference. It has nothing to do with what he didn't care more or he cares more or cared less. It has everything to do with the team he has now is responding to coaching.
Yeah. So we've heard about Penny talk about chemistry. We've heard Josh and Jaden talk about leadership and all of that. Well, let's move over to football, because that's also a big thing about leadership and expectations. Charles Huff, man, he's got some good sound bites.
He does.
He was asked about preseason expectation, and his answer wasn't really about talent at all. Take a listen.
You can rank our parts. No one can rank the sum of our parts. You can say, hey, we got a all-star defensive end who had whatever last year. We have a X, Y, and Z this that did whatever last year. But no one except myself and the people in this building know how that defensive end has gelled with the rest of the D-line. No one knows how the D-line has gelled with the O-line, how the wideouts have gelled with the linebackers. Like, no one, you can't rank that. There is no metric to rank the sum of the parts. The only thing that does that is game day.
Ruben, thoughts?
He is one of my favorites because that man is 100, keeps it 100 all the time.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love not hearing coach speak. You know, so he's correct. What he's saying is basically, hey, all the hype and all the talk, none of that matters till the game comes. Because that's the truth. In football, and more so than any other sport, football is very compartmentalized. The D-line goes over there, the offensive line goes over there, quarterbacks work over here, receivers are over there, running backs, DBs, everybody's split up. And then you're trying to put these puzzle pieces together for the game days. Mm-hmm. And so what he's saying is, yeah, we might have great parts, but we're not going to know how it works until we put the machine together and hit go.
Yeah.
And he's 1,000% right.
Yeah, and speaking of that, about getting to go and bringing it back to this thing of team building, he's not talking about just building chemistry on the field. He's making sure the team experiences before the season starts. He compared one of the Tigers' preseason team building trips, Ruben, to a famous football movie. Take a listen.
I'm going to channel our inner Remember the Titans kind of process. I had a chance when I played at Hampton University and didn't know that this experience would actually come to pass and help me be a better head coach now. The real Herman Boone actually came and spoke to our team at Hampton University. Got a chance to talk with him afterwards when Coach Taylor, our head coach, told us that Herman Boone was coming. We all thought Denzel was coming, so we were kind of like, oh, this is great. Well, the real Herman Boone walked in and we were like, you're not Herman Boone. Like, where's Denzel? But obviously he coached in Virginia, was close to Hampton, had a chance to come and speak to our team one fall camp. Afterwards, I got a chance to speak to him, and he said that when they went and got away from all of the noise, when they went to camp and got away from all of the noise, that's when their team really came together.
I love it.
Yeah, I agree, 1,000%. You can put the phones down. Everybody just is together. It really helps you build.
Y'all doing any team building trips to Victory Ranch?
No, we're not.
Three teams.
Yeah, we're not going out. First of all, I'm not camping at all in any way, shape, or form. So that's not happening. But we do, I know we got to get out of here real quick, but I'll tell you something we do. Yeah. So at the end of every summer, we do something called Team Karaoke Night, where each team has to sing, each group of parents has to sing, players have to sing. I don't get on the mic.
Oh,
but it's team building.
This guy.
when you're a leader, you don't have to get on the mic.
Oh, whatever. Get this guy out of here. Oh, brother. All right.